This is perfect. A potential addition to bolster the Chicago Bears pass rush would be excellent for this team moving forward into the regular season. Welcome to Bears Digest, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Dylan Guinzy. If you have not subscribed already, please do so. It looks like 67.5% of you have not done so. So to get these continued updates, news, rumors, breaking information as we head into the season, please hit that button so you are up to date with me. So, today, guys, I want to discuss a possible free agent addition to this Bears roster, and that is the man himself, Za'Darius Smith. If you guys don't know Za'Darius Smith, he has been a capable edge rusher for his entire career. Right now, he is a current free agent. Just played for the Lions last year. Of course, we're going to get into his stats as of last year and grades and things like that. But overall, the initial reaction is he is a free agent right now. He is waiting to see what team he wants to be on for this coming year. He has familiarity, of course, with Ben Johnson as they were on the same team last year. Za'Darius is familiar with the NFC North. He has played for every team except the Chicago Bears. A little fun fact there. And overall, I think this would be a great addition to the pass rush opposite of Montez Sweat. One thing I want to show you guys, some updated information that did just come out as well, is Austin Booker has been placed on injured reserve. Brad Biggs released this one just over an hour ago. Austin Booker did injure his knee in that second preseason game off that kickoff in the second half, and he has not returned since. And obviously, it is bad enough that he is going on injured reserve, so that is not good there. He's out at least 4 games. Happy it's not season ending, but this depletes our edge room even more than it already was opposite of Montez Sweat. We were kind of hoping for Austin Booker to take that step in the edge rush or pass rush game. And obviously now we're going to have to wait a while to see that. So adding somebody like Za'Darius Smith to replace Austin Booker and that possible production would be a necessary move in my opinion. And I think it'd be a great fit for this team as well. Za'Darius is a player that is kind of efficient mostly on third downs and straight pass rushing downs. We'll get into the numbers here shortly, but I think that's exactly what the Bears need with Dayo Odunze being able to play on early downs and not necessarily being a great pass rusher, more of a run stopper and situational pass rusher. But Za'Darius is that guy that you can bring in when you know the team is throwing it or you know the other team's throwing the ball and you need somebody to get after the quarterback. That is his specialty, and that is what Ryan Poles and co. should do. So I hope they at least take a look at him. Obviously, he is a free agent, so we're not going to be, dumb here. Those players do have to decide where they would like to play at, and if he is wanting to go strictly to a contender and go somewhere else, that is up to his choice. But I do want to hear some news about the Bears at least reaching out. I don't know if that's going to be leaked or whatever, but I would at least like Ryan Poles and co. to make a call. Let's try to better this roster. At the time of this recording, ladies and gentlemen, Micah Parsons has just been traded to the Green Bay Packers. I wish it was the Bears, but to the Green Bay Packers. Yes, Micah Parsons has been traded to the rival Green Bay Packers. If you are the Bears right now, the Green Bay Packers are making moves to be a contender to win the Super Bowl this season. Okay? If we are going to compete in any fashion in this division, we have to get better than what we're at right now. This roster needs to get better. I know there is not a ton of options right now at this point in the offseason going into week 1 just next week, but a player like Micah Parsons can get traded to the Packers, which is the biggest trade in NFL history that we have ever seen, and that can happen a week before the season. Khalil Mack was traded to the Bears from the Raiders in 2018, just a couple of days before that season started. Look how that worked out, right? Bears made the playoffs. Defense was amazing. Khalil Mack had double-digit sacks. It was absolutely awesome. Now, how it worked in the future from there, whatever. I think they made some poor decisions going forward. I think that 2018 team should have won the Super Bowl. But overall, I would call that trade a success as well. And Micah Parsons to the Packers is just further solidifying this difficult division in the NFC North. I think if he would have went to the Vikings or Lions, it would have been a lot scarier, in my opinion. That's just me. I feel like the Packers have always had a lesser roster in other spots than the Lions and Vikings, but the Packers do always play well and are playoff contenders because of their coaching and the way that they are built. It's kind of like the Steelers in a way where they're just coached to a T. They know what they're doing, and they're always going to be, in the realm of the playoffs. So Micah Parsons does add to that and kind of bring them into that Super Bowl sort of contender category. Talking about this, I don't want to make this whole video about Micah Parsons, but that news was just released. So I do want to cover it because that is important, obviously, and it's close to home here with the division. The other thing I want to touch on is Jerry Jones probably being the biggest idiot that we have ever seen in terms of ownership or front office staff in NFL history. Trading away a Hall of Fame player to a team that significantly whips your behind every time they see you in the playoffs and they're in your conference is quite possibly the dumbest move we have ever seen. So just wanted to get that out there. The Cowboys are absolutely fraudulent. Cannot wait to play them in week 3. We don't have to see Micah Parsons and the Packers till later on in the season, so we'll see how that progresses and what everything is like at that point. Maybe we won't even care. Maybe they won't care. Who knows? We don't know how the season plays out. Everybody is just guessing at this point. So we'll see what it's like when we get there. Thankfully, we don't have to play the Packers week 1 like we have seen in the past. That would be kind of devastating. But overall, very excited to play Dallas in week 3. That should be a stomping. Moving on there from Micah Parsons, we might cover this more in tomorrow's video. We'll see about that. But getting back to Za'Darius Smith, last year he was phenomenal. He was very productive last year, had a 74 overall PFF grade, 615 snap count, very limited there. He was about 47th in edge in terms of snap count. So as I said before, third down pass rush ability, that's what people want to use him as at this point in his career, and he is dang good at it. He was 10th in the league in pressures at 63, while snap count was 47th for edge rushes. So absolutely phenomenal. He still provides immaculate production, and I think this would be a great addition to the Chicago Bears. Tackles, he was at 20. Usually doesn't matter too much out of the edge spot, especially on third down pass rush situations. So overall, Za'Darius Smith had a great year last year, and I think he would be an excellent addition for the Chicago Bears. Played all 17 games, finished with 9 sacks, 22 solo tackles, is a little bit different than PFF and how they had it measured out. 35 combined tackles, 17 QB hits. So with Za'Darius being 32, almost 33 years old, obviously he's on the back half of his career. But in terms of what we need for this team this year and what this defensive line needs, it's just the only piece is an extra pass rusher to provide value opposite of Montez Sweat. So teams are not just constantly chipping Montez and double teaming Montez, things like that. We need a guy opposite of him, and I would love to see Za'Darius Smith added. So big day, ladies and gentlemen, in the NFL world. Obviously not great news for Chicago. Austin Booker going on IR, and nobody has been added yet to any of the rooms that we kind of need more depth in. So we will stay up to date on all the news, rumors, breaking information that does come through. We'll be back tomorrow covering some more information. Might talk more about this Micah Parsons deal and the impact that has going forward. But as always, I want to hear down below the comments that you guys have and suggestions that you guys have about the edge room. What do you guys think about Za'Darius Smith? Should he be added to this roster? Would you guys like that move? Let me know down below. Always love hearing your comments there. As always, thank you for joining me today, and bear down.